Welcome back. Mark Bertoli joining us from Abbott Wealth Management today. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I think I just got cut talking on TV. So we're going to talk about the State of the Union address that President Obama gave last night. I did not watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of Canadians do. Some do, okay? Some do. You PBR'd it. You're going to go through it and sift through it?
Yeah, I've done it. I've gone through it already.
Good. Yeah. So how was it?
It's very interesting, and it is relevant because they're our biggest trading partner, and we're in the shadow of the U.S. a lot of times economically as well, and what happens there really affects all of us as well. So interesting. You know, Obama's coming near the end of his term and he can't run again. And so a few things he's brought out, you know, he wanted to bring out, for instance, raising the minimum wage, very focused at the middle class, for sure, as the initiatives he's putting forward. Extended family health care benefits throughout the U.S., and then also free community college are a lot of the things.
Those are all good things.
Very unique situation, though. He was speaking to a Republican-controlled Congress. So I don't know that he's going to be effective in enacting any of these things. So it's interesting to see.
Absolutely.
But definitely, we talked last week, you know, Scottsdale from 30,000 feet in the economy. He acknowledged last night that the State of the Union is great and that the United States is back, and it is a fact.
And his approval rating for the first time in a while has been up over the 50% mark. I don't know how low it got, though. Do you?
Yeah, I didn't follow that.
I don't know either. Yeah. But yeah, it sounds like he's in good stead as he begins sort of the exiting strategy of his campaign and his time as president.
Right. Now, we also talked 2 weeks ago about oil and how the oil is a tax on the economy. Interestingly, this week, I actually got a statistic on the effect of on the U.S. So the price of energy right now is equivalent to a $1 trillion stimulus package in the U.S. So that's what the U.S. consumer businesses are going to save as a result of lower energy costs. That's a direct shot in the arm for the U.S. economy. So it's things are looking good in the U.S. for sure. Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about the Bank of Canada this morning. Somewhat unexpected, unanticipated.
That's right.
Cutting their key rate by 1/4%. And of course, there's a lot of different impacts this is going to have.
That's true. You know, and I guess is the why. You know, the Bank of Canada looked at what's going on in the energy sector, exports in Canada. 2014, our gross domestic product was about 2.4%, so that's the output of our country. They expected it to be 2.4 again this year. They've just lowered the forecast to 2.1% growth in Canada.
Is that all because of oil?
A lot of it. It's a huge part of our exports, for sure. But there's some other things going on here. What happens when you lower or you increase interest rates, and the U.S. isn't as well? There's a play on the Canadian dollar here. So I think when I last looked, the Canadian dollar was down 1.8 cents.
Just today.
Today.
Yes.
So you got to realize that when we're paid for oil, we're paid in U.S. dollars. So that helps Canada. It also gives it gives some advantage to our manufacturing, because the American dollar is buying more, our tourism industry, all different aspects of our economy will benefit with a lower dollar.
But at what point do we say, okay, it's gone low enough? Like if we hit 79, is there going to be an impact? Just the optics of going into the 70s, I think, is going to strike a bit of a chord with people and perhaps make a lot of people worry, and it could affect our economy.
That's true. So let's look back at that, and we've also been referred to as an oil dollar. So Bank of Canada is calling for oil of around $60 this year. And then our GDP in 2016 going back up to 2.4% growth annually. So in the long term, I think that's okay for Canada and our dollar and our economy. So I wouldn't get too concerned about that. And as we talked about before, the best cure for low oil prices is low oil prices. Another statistic came out today. Looks like in Western Canada, there's been a cut of $23 billion in spending in exploration as a result of these prices. So I think we will see maybe some further declines, then a sharp increase following.
Today we saw the price of oil go up. a little bit. Is that because of the Bank of Canada rate?
No, I don't think so.
No, just completely.
You're going to get speculators in here playing around now, and people saying, okay, it's low enough, I'm jumping back in, and things like that.
Right.
So
Okay, interesting. Before we go though on the segment, we do have our question of the week this week, and that is, how does a lower interest rate help the economy? We kind of just answered that with some of the talk we've been having.
There's a couple of things. Cost of borrowing for business. So if you're looking at opening a business or maybe doing some construction, some building, that keeps your price down. And lowering it also sends a message that there isn't any imminent increase coming, which is a big thing. So there's also our lower Canadian dollar, which is huge. And there's more dollars, less spent on interest expense, more for new employees. A company may invest in new technology or new equipment. So it's almost a stimulus in the economy as well.
And good for the housing market too, of course.
Excellent for the housing, yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, we'll see how this all unfolds. This time next week when we sit down again, there could be a lot of different changes in what's going on.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, Mark, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
If you have a question that you would like to pose to Abbott Wealth, the email is on the screen, info@abbottwealth.com, and we could certainly answer that for you on the air. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.